Hey, what's up, everyone? Stevie P back in the place to be. It's been a while since I did a live video, and I really wanted to talk about this. I put as the title to this live video, How to Live Effortlessly with Infinite Creativity. And what I really wanted to talk about is living from the heart, because that's been a big lesson for me over the last few years and definitely over the last few weeks. And it's a lesson that applies to all of us. So I am coaching people to write books right now, developing this coaching program to help spiritual people write their books. So I'm getting really into creativity, flow state, but more importantly, living and sharing from the heart. And that's why I took a little sabbatical from social media to get really clear and to make sure that I'm coming from the heart and being 100% of service. So making sure that I'm not acting out of my ego or coming from a place that's not of love. Just really, really grounding in my heart space. And I'm noticing that it's a magic key. Things are starting to flow. So that's what I want to talk about. And I'm going to let it flow. I don't really have bullet points or topics, subtopics to talk about here. It's all about living from the heart, because that's when things become effortless and flowing. When you're living from the ego and making decisions out of the ego, things become more complicated. Things become harder. You start to get in your own way. And we live in this culture that prides hustle, hard work, overanalyzing everything. So that's what we tend to get caught up in. We tend to overanalyze things and think really hard instead of feeling and intuiting. And that's a big thing. So with what you're working on, or even throughout the day, be still and feel. Just feel. What do you feel in your body? How are you feeling? How would you even describe what you're feeling? Get in tune with what you're feeling. This is a big thing. So instead of trying to overanalyze everything or just think through everything, this just came to me. You're not going to think through problems. You're going to feel and then know that the problems really aren't real. Thinking actually creates more problems. And this allows you to live effortlessly. Effortless effort is how they describe it, is how Lao Tzu describes it in the Tao Te Ching. And effortless effort is achieved when you're living through your heart. When you are basically a vessel for the divine instead of trying to force everything. And it doesn't mean that there's an external God or anything. Think of it as the divine within, because it is within all of us. And when you're aligned with that, because it's beyond the ego, it's beyond the conscious mind, when you're aligned with it, then you flow with it. Everything's in alignment and it becomes effortless. But if you're acting out of your ego, you're going to be out of alignment and you're going to be swimming upstream or bushwhacking instead of flowing with your divine current. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to effortlessness. And things flow. And then also, living from the heart, it creates this magnetic field that things just come to you. When you're not living from the heart, you have to force things. You have to go grab things and hold them. But if you're living from the heart, things come to you because it's magnetic. The heart has a huge, profound magnetic field. So if you're living in this, you're activating it, it's growing stronger. And then this, of course, applies to creativity. If you're trying to write and you're analyzing and critiquing everything that you're writing, it's going to take you an hour to write a sentence. But if you're just letting it flow, you're going to write so much more, and it's going to be higher quality because it's going to be that divine flowing through. But like I said, if you're in your inner critic or letting your inner critic be loud, you're going to be obsessing over every word, and it's not even going to turn out good. Because what's going on with your ego, the power that it has access to, pales in comparison to that divinity within. So if you're writing from that place where you're critiquing every word, you're going to be severely limited, and you're going to think yourself into limitation. While if you let it flow, it's going to be the exact opposite. It's going to be effortless, easy, and of higher quality. So this not only applies to writing, it applies to any creative endeavor and working and work, any project. And this is a continuous process. It comes easier to some people. This living from the heart comes easier to some people than others. For me, it's been a long, gradual process of deepening that practice of living from my heart. It's been a long process. Some people do it naturally. Some people are really far away from doing it. So it all depends on your uniqueness. And there are many, many ways to facilitate this connection and facilitate this state of living from the heart, from being purely of love and service, and not with having strings attached or what am I going to get out of it, that kind of thing. And these practices include so many things, like meditation. Meditation is a foundational practice to help you get into that space. Also, any type of healing modality will bring you in that direction. Some more quickly than others, some more strongly than others. Any type of healing modality will facilitate this process. Also, time in nature. Also, journaling. Also, any type of artistic work. The more you do any kind of art, the more you're going to build that skill of letting go. Like the expression goes, let go and let God. So let go and let the God within flow through you. So the more you engage in an artistic activity, the easier it will be for you to let go and flow. Think about like the first time someone picks up a paintbrush. They're going to be like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to paint. Like, someone tell me what to do, or I need to follow these specific directions. And it becomes this left brain analytical thing, and you're overthinking every stroke. But the more you do it, the more it becomes natural, and you become all Bob Ross. Let's paint a seagull there. Let's turn our problems into little birds, like that, that kind of thing. So the more you do it, the more intuitive you can become with it, with any art, and that facilitates that state of living from the heart. And I want to talk more about this because this is such an important thing. Living from the heart, learning how to flow, learning how to surrender your ego to the divine within. That's when life becomes effortless. Even when you're doing something, even when you're taking action, it's effortless because it's not forced. Yeah, going back, because I just want to reiterate this example of writing. It's the perfect example for this. If you're overanalyzing everything you're writing, or you're thinking about, oh, what will people think when they read this? Or you're trying to impress people, it's not going to turn out as well as it would if you just let it flow. If you sit there, calm down, still your mind, and then just flow. That's when the brilliance comes out. And we all have it. You have that brilliance. I have that brilliance. Everyone you know has that brilliance. Everyone. That divinity is within everyone. So it's these kind of practices that allow us to surrender to it and to flow. So like meditation, journaling, any kind of creative work, any time in nature is going to facilitate this effortlessness, this living from the heart, this infinite well of creativity that is within all of us. And yeah, there's a lot more when it comes to this, because I'm doing this myself, deepening living from the heart. Living from the heart as much as possible. Being of service, making sure my ego is not running the show. So I'm going to share some more like practical tips of how to do this. What's up, Jaywalk? Yeah, so I want to start sharing, among other things, some more practical tips about living from the heart, because we need it, because it makes our lives better. Because who won't benefit from living more effortlessly while getting more done and being more creative, tapping into that creative genius? And the world, of course, needs it. More people living from the heart, more people being of service, more people spreading love. Because even when we think we're spiritual, or we think we're a nice person, there are some shadow tendencies. There are some things that we do from the ego that actually causes harm, even when we consciously don't want to cause harm. Or it causes disharmony, even when we consciously don't want to cause disharmony. So that's why this living from the heart space, this being grounded in love, is so important. Of truly being of service. So important. Without these egoic clingings of wanting to help people just because you want to get praise, or wanting to put out videos like this just because you want people to say how smart you are. I've dealt with things similar to that. Yeah, it's about coming from that place of love and being of service. And that's when things become effortless. That's when your creative gifts start to really become infinite, because it's not coming from here. It's an infinite fountain. It's a river continually flowing. So that's the answer. The answer to how to live effortlessly and how to unleash your infinite creativity is living from the heart. And by living from the heart, it means surrendering your ego to the divine. Whether you believe in a God, a religious God, or you believe there's a higher power within, or whatever your belief system is, doesn't matter. It's surrendering your ego to the divine. Because that's what allows you to flow. There is an infinite source of power that we all have access to. And if you tune into that, and you let that flow through you, instead of trying to force through your ego, that's when things become absolutely magical. That's when you become a creative genius. That's when you write the book that you know you can write. And it's amazing. And it sparks people. And it inspires people. And it changes people's lives just from reading it. We all have this capacity. So I want to inspire that within you. So that's the answer. Living from the heart. And it's going to look different for everyone, because we're all unique. And there are many, many ways to help you live more and more from the heart every moment of every day. So many ways to do that. And I want to share more of that with you as the weeks, months, whatever, as they unfold. I want to start sharing more of that, more about creativity, more about writing, more about expressing your gifts. Like I said, I'm helping people write their books. I'm helping spiritual people write their books, because so many awesome people have these amazing gifts that when shared are going to completely change people's lives and help people live from the heart and help people empower themselves and help people have the tools to change their lives and be better people. It's that candle effect. Like Buddha said something about when you light a candle, I don't even know, I'm butchering it. Well, when you light a candle, you can light like 1,000,000 candles from one candle. Completely butchered that. But you know what I mean. It's about sparking the divine brilliance within each other. That was hilarious. Yeah, so that's what it's all about. How to live effortlessly, how to unleash your infinite creativity. Live from the heart. There are many ways to do so, but that's my invitation to you right now. Tune into your heart. Take a second to be in stillness and feel. Just feel. And do that throughout the day and make that your default state eventually through practice, how you live instead of trying to analyze everything. Just feel. Live in the heart. Slow down a bit. In slowing down, you can actually get more done. That's a little tip. But just live from the heart. And instead of reacting, let's say for the rest of your day today, let's say tomorrow and throughout the weekend, instead of reacting or instead of marinating on your own problems or your own anxiety, hold the door open for someone. Just smile at someone. Send a message to someone saying hi. Give someone a compliment, a genuine compliment. Live in your heart and you'll see how good it feels. Because it's way more fulfilling to live in your heart and give than to be in your ego and receive. I'll tell you that. It feels so fucking good to give. I'm getting all emotional here. So the answer to the title of this live video is live from your heart. And I'm going to put this up to you. I don't want to tell you the exacts of how to do everything or this is what you need to do. I'm going to invite you to answer this question. How can you live more from your heart? And actually, that's a good question. I'm going to pose that to myself and let that answer come to me and integrate my version of that answer as well. How are you going to live more from your heart? All right, that's it. Peace, everyone. Sending you so much love. Levels and amounts of love that I thought were impossible a few weeks ago. All right, bye, everyone. Love y'all. Peace.